guys, it is Deb coming to you today from my kitchen, and I am going to be making a better than anything cake. It's been a long time since I made it, and it's pretty amazing. So I'm going to go ahead and give it a whirl and show you my little tricks and tips and all that tricks. So just to make life a little easier in the kitchen. So I'm all about quick, easy stuff. So anyway, so this is what we're going to be using. We're going to be using our beautiful, really pretty blue cake pan. This is the aluminum, the metal one. It has the lid, which is great because this is one of those refrigerated cakes. So that way I can bake it and then put it in the refrigerator with the lid, which I love that aspect of it. And these pans, they're really heavy duty. So don't let the cuteness of them detour you because they're really, really heavy duty and thick. So that's what I love about those. So we're gonna go ahead and jump right in. It's not a secret thing right now at the beginning. I mean, we're just gonna be mixing up a cake. So it's pretty simple with that. Starting off with 3 eggs. We have our eggs in here. Gonna be using our Easy Read measuring cups, which I love these measuring cups because you can, they pour pretty first of all, but you just keep them straight on your countertop, just flat on your countertop. And that was a cup of water. We're gonna add a half a cup of oil. But I don't have to bend down to see the measurements, which I know that might sound lazy. But I don't have to do that little, okay, where's my measurement at? So I can look at it straight up and down and see that this is a half a cup of oil, which is what I need. All right, so here's our half a cup of oil. And like I said, it has a little lip, so when you're pouring, it pours pretty. I know that sounds corny again, but I'll tell you what, it makes a difference. If you cook a lot in the kitchen, you know what I mean. That makes a difference. Nothing worse than pouring an ingredient out or water out and it go all over the countertop or all over your stove top or what have you. So anyway, okay, so what we're doing here is we are doing the, I have these backwards. I'm a lefty and I'm using this the right-handed way, so I always am a little bit more clumsy with it. But anyway, so we're gonna use German chocolate cake mix. All right, so that's what we're mixing up. So I have the eggs in here, the oil, the water. We're just gonna go ahead and add our cake mix. A couple tips when you're adding your cake mix. Let me grab my battery here. When you're adding your, when you're mixing your cake mix, is you don't want to overmix cake mixes. If you overmix it, you incorporate too much air, and they're light and fluffy, but they're also dried out. So you don't want to overmix your cake mix. Okay. So we're going to go ahead and put our tool together. This here is part of our Flex Plus system, which we're going to go ahead and use the mixer. So little tip on this one, you have your power stick, which is what this is. And then if you look, I don't know if you can see it from here, there's one of these that has like a cross on it, like an X, like a little crossover. That's what this one is. So if you can tell one, see how this one has your little bar there, and this one doesn't. So you just make sure you put that in the right direction. That's the only trick it is with it. So whenever you go to insert this, make sure you're inserting it into the right section there. So we're gonna put our beaters in there, okay? And then the last thing you always do when you do one of our Flex Plus tools is you always do the battery last. So until you're ready to start, don't put it on there because it will drain your battery. So we're gonna start now. So I'm gonna add my battery. There's always a little two-part system when you turn this on, just for safety. So on the mixer, it's this one right here. So we push this in, and then we can start mixing. Okay? If you want to increase your speed, the volume, the speed control is right down here. So you just control your speed that way. I have it all the way up already. And this is just for lightweight mixing. I kind of hold it by the power stick because I'm this that way. I think I grabbed my wrong battery. This is the battery that wasn't charged. There's 2 batteries it comes with, just so you know. So you get the second one that we're using, and then I do have an extra one down here, same thing. Okay. This also comes with a power stick, so this is another power attachment. This is actually for your immersion blender, which I use this guy a lot too. We're already mixed, guys. Let me turn this off. We're already mixed up. So it comes with the immersion blender, and it also comes with the manual food processor or food processor type attachment. So that's kind of cool also. So we get done. First thing we do, again, remove that battery pack. Got the battery. I'm going to go ahead and just take this off. This is our power stick again. And that way it's just off to the side. And there's our beaters. Okay. And again, all you do like a normal mixer, you just push them and it comes right out. So we'll put those off to the side so I don't make a mess everywhere. All right. So there's our cake mix. And again, you notice it didn't take me very long at all to mix that up, because you don't want to overmix your cake mix. If you incorporate too much air, they're too light and fluffy and they dry out. So you want a dense, moist, delicious cake. Okay, so don't incorporate too much air. All right, so back to our pan. You can spray it. I am not a fan of pan sprays. I avoid them at all costs, because if you ever look at a pan that you use pan sprays, they have like a brown cruddy residue, usually like around the edges where it doesn't always come clean. That's because of that pan spray. Plus there's extra chemicals in there that you just don't need. So you can, I usually don't even worry about, because it comes right out, it really does. I've never had a problem with these pans sticking, but if you want to, because I have it, what you could do is take our silicone brush and just put in a little bit of a shortening and just go ahead and brush it and you're good to go. Okay, so if you really want to do something like that, you can. I usually don't worry about it too much, but that's just me, okay? The thing about pan sprays is once you start using them, you almost have to continue using them, because they leave like this kind of a sticky residue that's really, really hard to get off, but it makes everything stick. So you almost have to use the pan spray then, because everything will stick because of that invisible little residue. It's a little trick. So if you're not using it yet and you're getting a new pan, don't start. Chances are you don't need it. All right. So anyway, okay, so we're using these little bowls. These bowls come in a set of 3, which are handy. This is the middle size. Lightweight, nice. They actually have a rubber or silicone gripper on the bottom of the ring, so they don't slide around your countertop as easily. All right. So we have our cake mix. And so I'm just gonna go ahead and spread it out to the corners so that way I have a flatter cake when I go to bake. I don't want it to hump up too much in the middle, because I want a flat cake. All right, there we go, guys. That's it. Another trick is when you're doing your cake mixes, especially these light metal pans, I always reduce my, you know, it always says 350, but I reduce my oven temperature to 325. All right, and then we're gonna go by the box. So a 9 by 13 is gonna be 28 to 33 minutes. So I'm actually gonna check it at 25 minutes. I always like to go a little under. You just never know. Worst thing is to have overbaked cake, dried out, you don't like it, it's not good. So if anything, go a little under, because that pan's gonna continue cooking when you take it out. All right, so we'll see you in a minute. Bye. Hi guys, I'm back. It has been 25 minutes and the cake is perfectly done. I just took it out of the oven. Here it is, perfectly done. You want it to just barely, let me put this down, guys, because it's a little hot. You want it to spring back just a little bit when you touch it. So that's perfect. You can also put a cake tester right in the middle of it and make sure it's done, but this is like perfectly done, so I'm excited. So we're gonna let it cool for just a second while we prep our other ingredients here. We're getting ready to go. The next 2 things we're gonna do is take sweetened condensed milk and a caramel sauce. Okay, so let's go ahead and get this stuff open. Sweetened condensed milk, we're gonna use our can opener, which if you do not have this can opener yet, you need this can opener. It actually goes on the top, very easy to use, and you just start turning. This one will actually adjust to the thickness of your lid. Believe it or not, here, I'm gonna go all the way around first. Okay, and you'll feel when it kind of loosens up a little bit, and then all you do is go backwards, it pops it off, and then you use your thumb, see the little thumb here, and it's got this little gripper, little pincher, okay? So that's what I'm doing, is I'm using that, I'm just pinching that very top edge, and this just pops right off. There you go, okay? But what I started to say is, believe it or not, this lid, these lids come in different thicknesses on the rim. So what happens when you use our can opener, it will actually, when you turn the handle, I don't know if you can see where this is happening at, but this top gear is actually rotating. And see how it goes to the cutter blade? So it actually uncrimps your edge of your can. So it doesn't cut it, so it doesn't have sharp edges. But with this guy, it actually goes to the thickness of your lid. So that way, if you have a thicker lid, it fits that. If you have a thinner rim lid, it fits that one. So it fits all different sizes. So that's what makes this one great. Plus, again, when you take this off, you don't have sharp edges here, and you don't have sharp edges here. A lot of times those safety can openers, they're like, oh, your lids aren't sharp. Okay, yeah, maybe not. But it cuts underneath that rim, and so your can is really sharp. So you gotta watch what you're getting. But this one, neither the can nor the lid is sharp. So that's the important thing there, okay? All right, the next thing we're gonna use this jar opener, which if you don't have this yet, this thing is a lifesaver. It comes with mounting holes, so you can actually mount it like under your cabinet. I just use mine just by the hand, that's all I use it, because sometimes these jars are hard to get open. So I love it because all you do, just like that, guys, it's open. No taking a knife and banging on it and all this other stuff, or trying to pop it, and it just is this easy. And it goes all the way down to like a vanilla bottle and all the way up to like a mason jar. So love this, again, makes great gifts. So that's the jar opener. All right, so we have those two things ready to go. So let's go back to our cake. You have two options. You have as many options as you want, I guess. You want to do a poke. That's what we're doing, is a poke cake. So you can do like one of our thicker like rods here. This is actually our angled spoon, which I love this wooden spoon, the teak wood. You can do that, but I don't know, they're a little thicker to me. I know I'm weird. I just use my spatula. I like these small little spatulas. The handles are the perfect size. So I just basically, because they aren't like huge holes, so I think these are big enough. So I don't want to go all the way down to the bottom of my cake, but I'm just basically just pushing holes in here. Look at that, yeah, and those extra pieces that fly out of your bonus. It's the tax. It's the tasting tax, right? Okay, that'll be good, put it back in there. Okay, all right, so that's as easy as that. And then we're gonna go ahead and just take, and it really doesn't matter what order, you just wanna pour this over when it's still a little hot. So that way it kind of goes in the little holes and melts in the little holes. This one's really, we're gonna have to help it out a little bit, okay? Help that out. So you want your cake a little warm when you're doing this still. So we just got this out of the oven, so it's still warm. So it's gonna help melt this just enough to get it down those holes. Okay, so there's the first layer. I'm gonna go ahead and take our handy dandy spreader, our cake spreader, and just kind of help it a little bit get down those holes. Okay, there we go. Doesn't have to be perfect, because let me tell you, this is so yummy. Yeah, it's just amazing. You can't mess this cake up. All right, there we go. So it's gonna leak down those holes as it sits. All right. And even if you mess it up, it's all good. See, you just put that right over there. Nobody knows. All right, and then we're gonna take our caramel sauce, and we're gonna take our caramel and just drizzle over the top. Yum, yum, yum. Now, the hard part about this whole dessert is it needs to sit in the refrigerator several hours, or I like to do it overnight. So, by the magic of video, you will see the next step, but I will be back tomorrow, or maybe even late tonight. I might do it later tonight to finish this up, okay? So we're gonna just, again, spread that caramel on there. Yum, guys, this is like amazingly good. Can you tell how good this is already? So again, we're using the German chocolate cake mix. You're gonna bake it in your 9x13 pan. I love this one because, again, it bakes evenly, and it comes and it's easy release, and it's just so darn cute, okay? It's just so darn cute with that blue. Plus, it has the lid. So I can go ahead and put the lid on it. I'm not gonna put the lid on quite yet because, again, this cake is a little warm because it just got out of the oven, so I don't want it to get too moist in the inside. So I'm just gonna kind of let it sit for a minute, and then I'm gonna throw this in the refrigerator as it gets a little cooler. So I don't wanna throw something hot in the fridge because that's not good for your other food. So let this get cooled off a little bit more. Once it cools off, throw it in your fridge, and then we'll come back with the next step. All right, so I'll see you in a couple hours, which will be a few minutes, a few seconds. Bye. Hi guys, I'm here for the last step. Basically, we're gonna add some Cool Whip. Now I do use Cool Whip in this instance. Normally I like to make my own whipping cream, but with the cakes like this, I just find like they set up better and they last longer with the regular store-bought Cool Whip, okay? So that's what I do. So I just get one of these, And yeah, just spread it on. So again, we have that cake. It's been sitting in the fridge. It's the same day, but it's nice and chilled. So I'm able to add my Cool Whip. Now you can get a big Cool Whip if you like extra, but I just got the regular small size because I don't like a lot of extra Cool Whip. So I know I'm kind of weird that way. All right. But there you go, guys. That's it. Okay, there's one more thing. Because, you know, we can't leave it alone like this, right? So just spread this out. Looks kind of like a cloud, doesn't it? Yum, yum. And there we go. Okay, so spread that out. There's my spatula I was going to use, but either way works. All right, there we go. Okay, and then for the final is to take Heath bars. It's really hard. I have a hard time finding regular Heath bars, so I just buy the bits because it's already chopped up and it's good to go. So I just top it up with that. And then we are good. And then sometimes what I'll do is I'll top this off now, and it will kind of get soft as it sits there because I'm gonna put this in the fridge for overnight because we'll serve it tomorrow. But I will leave some of the bits out, and so when I go to serve it, I'll throw a couple extra bits. I'll sprinkle a little bit of bits on top of it, so I'll add a little extra crunch for the recipe too. So there you go. There's your cake. Better than ever cake. Better than anything cake. And then what I'm gonna do is, again, take my lid. It's good to go. So you're ready to go for your party. You're ready to go wherever you need to go. Cake on the go, what have you. Oh, snaps right on, so it's a nice tight seal. And I'm good to go, guys. So there's your 9x13 rectangle cake pan. Love it. And again, this is the Heath Bar cake, better than ever cake, however you want to call it. So simple, easy. Let me know if you need the recipe. Let me know if you have any favorite cake recipes like this. There's another one I know of that's a lemon one that's really good that I've done. There's of course a strawberry crunch one that's amazing. It has Jell-O coated with vanilla wafers. So you take vanilla wafers and you basically coat it with Jell-O, like dry Jell-O. Oh my gosh, it's so good. With a little bit of butter in it. Oh, it's so good. And that's the topping. I'll have to post that below too. It's really yum. All right, take care guys, bye.